Have you ever wanted to dim the lights? Sometimes a dimmer switch is exactly what you need. Hi, I'm Dakota Shafer with Structure Real Estate Group in Colorado Springs. Changing out a light switch is not as daunting as it seems, and I'm going to show you the simple steps to do so safely and make sure it's done correctly. And it only takes one tool, and that's just a screwdriver. So the first step in this process is shutting the main power off to the light switch, and we're going to do that through the breaker box. If you have any questions on breakers or breaker boxes, check out the link on the screen. We did a video on that as well. But go ahead and locate your breaker box and match the breaker up that feeds to the light switch that we're going to be changing out, and go ahead and just shut that off. Once you do that, go and test the switch to make sure that the lights don't turn on with the operation of the switch. If they do, you have the wrong breaker. If they don't, you have the power off, and now it's safe to work on. So now that the breaker's off, like I said, check the switch. The light didn't turn on there, so it is officially off. There's no power to the switch. And the first step now is just to go ahead and take off the cover plate by removing these two screws. Always double check the switch, just because breaker panels can be mislabeled, and you want to make sure that it's off. The next step is just to remove the switch from the box by removing these two screws. Now that we have the switch out of the wall, I want to go over what these wires mean. So in any electrical outlet, there's going to be a positive, a negative, and a ground. The positive is typically red, or they might be the same color. The black is typically your negative. And then the ground wire is either just a straight copper wire or it's green. And you'll see the way that the switch is set up. So this one, it doesn't matter which polarity we put it in here for that, but we will need to remove these wires from the old switch. Now there's a slot here where you can push a screwdriver down into and release the wire out, or you can just cut them with a pair of tin snips like that, which is kind of the fastest way to do it. So now we have the old switch off, and we're ready to install the new switch. So like I said, the green wire is going to be our ground, so we can go ahead and hook that one up to the copper wire here. And a good practice with this is to wrap it around the right side, because we're going to take a wire nut and we're going to put it on the wire and tighten it down. And that way it just wraps it even tighter up inside that wire nut and makes for a nice connection. And then we're going to hook up the positive wire and wire nut. And finally, the negative wire and wire nut. Now make sure your wire nuts are on good and tight. You shouldn't be able to pull them off. And now we're ready to go ahead and set the switch into the box. Okay, now we're ready to tuck the wires together, because there's not a lot of room in this box. And just kind of stuff them in behind it. And then the switch will come with a couple of long screws that go right back into the box, and that's how you secure it. Okay, now that we've got the new switch installed, go ahead and turn the breaker back on and test your switch, and we're working just fine. And so the last step is just to go ahead and put the plate on, and you're ready to go. Thanks for watching our video. If you have any questions at all, feel free to hit the contact button on our page or call the number on the screen. And we'd love to have you subscribe to our channel for more homeowner maintenance tips.